Welcome to another edition of Smart Chat here on YouTube.com. I hope everything's going well for you guys. Do want to do a baseball video here, just talking about recently what happened in Yankee Stadium. Two-year-old was hit with a ball, just a flying ball that came right at her. She was rushed to the hospital, has been released since. Seems like she'll be okay. But we gotta talk about netting, guys. I mean, it happened in the Yankee Stadium, obviously. So I've been in a few ballparks, and like specifically, let's say Yankee Stadium. I've been in Yankee Stadium, been in Citi Field here, around the area, been in a Turner Field. No matter where I went, you always had kind of advertising that said on the big screen in the stadium, in between innings, watch for flying balls, bats. If you think balls are bad, imagine flying bats, depending on where you sit. Even throughout the whole stadium, they would say, watch for flying, be alert, watch for balls and bats. Now, listen, I'm not saying that the parents were not watching. Far from it. I'm sure they were watching and paying attention. And the Yankees said they will examine this, and if any changes are made at earliest, it will be 2018. But we need netting from the first base side to home plate, and from the third base side to home plate. Man, just put up like 15-foot screens. Seriously, 15-foot screens. When you sit towards the bottom there. That's why who am I kidding? I can't afford those expensive seats in some of these places and stadiums that you go to. But even if I could, I just want to stay away from them at all times, man. Just because you always it's like you have to have your head on a swivel. Be alert at all times, because those balls coming at you at 150 miles an hour, bats. Everyone looks at their phone nowadays, or they stare at their phone. You look slightly at your phone for 1 second. You put hot dog on you put your ketchup on your hot dog for 1 second, and you're sitting in those seats, and boom! It could just hit you just like that. Just that split second. I'm scared to sit in those seats. Scared to sit in those seats. It's like it's hard to, it will be hard to even enjoy the game for me personally. Now, this is what we need, though. Prevent these catastrophes. You can have brain damage, mess up your whole face. Just put up these 13, 15-foot nets. I don't care what it is. Just put it up as high as humanly possible. Now, I know it might cause an uproar because the netting might take away from the experience, those expensive seats, and it might cost hurt the pockets a little bit. The team won't be able to sell those seats for $500 a pop, $300 a pop for certain games because of that netting. So they might be hesitant to change. Maybe they'd rather just keep the way it is, but you can't have, it needs to change. You can't have happening what is happening. That's the one thing I worry about, that some of these owners will say no to this because it might take away from the profit. And even if they do decide to put the netting, the fans might not want to buy these tickets because of the netting, and the netting gets in their way, they might think. So things need to get done. It needs to be changed. The netting really needs to be installed league-wide. I know I've heard in interviews, and unfortunately certain people have certain situations happen to them where bats and balls have hit them and they're working with Major League Baseball, but it's a slow process. The process really needs to speed up and change. I hope all is well.